scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements.
Why can't you hold on to football? It's so goddamn hard. You gotta hold on to it.
Got to hold on to it. It's part of the game.
What are you sipping on?
So tonight I have a Friday little celebration. My anniversary is tonight. 15 years. Married to a lovely lady. Amazing lady.
15 years, man.
15 years today. You were there. You were my best man. And you had a beard just like you do today. My beard.
Bo's watching. He says he's not wearing a t-shirt. He's not wearing a t-shirt, just like you were earlier today.
Who said that, Bo?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. But Bo's. Hey, listen. Just between you, me, and Bo, he's got the odds-on favorite to be the next Nimble with Numbers staff writer. So, you know, he's his hot sauce is just. You know what? As a matter of fact, and I didn't really think we'd get to this now, but I mean, I'll do it now since he's jumping in already. But
Bo's Hot Box Batch Hot Sauce. That shit's fucking hot.
Yeah, it is, and it's great. So
I've heard. I haven't sampled the goods yet.
I got a bottle for you. Well, I'm getting a bunch from Bo.
Scott is saving me one, and we've just been in lockdown protocol, so
yeah,
I haven't been able to get my hands on any yet. But
soon,
Scott, I'm scared Scott's gonna drink it all. I think he's burned through all his other reserves.
You follow my Instagram.
You might have to say more about.
Well,
I'm scared of it though because it's like a million Scovilles or something like that.
It's 500. It's over 500,000 Scovilles, and yeah, it's the real deal. I'm not gonna lie to you. The first time I ate it, my mouth was hot for a good 15-20 minutes, and my innards were hot for a while as well. My outwards became hot as well. So you know, it's awesome. But for me, here's the thing I've learned how to do it. Is that
you just said 250K.
250K. Okay. What you do with it is, you know, you put it on your eggs, your sausage, your quesadilla, your pizza, your burger, your fries, whatever. You put it on, and you know, it just makes it taste spicy, hot, delicious. And I'm not going to give away any of Bo's secrets, but there's like a bazillion habaneros in here. So, right. You know, I love it, man. Like I told Bo, my wife said we got a couple grand to invest, you know, in the stock market. I said, I have some other ideas with some of that money, you know. So it's not just buying hot sauce. Like I believe in this man. He's a great man. He's in a fantasy football league with me, and you know, he's going to watch my ascent in that league, the Fantasy Hot Box League. Shout out. You know, fantasy FB Stoner. He's one of the best people ever. Stoner has watched me drafting Clyde Edwards-Helaire, really coming back to just, you know, reap rewards for myself in that league. I went. He was favored to win the matchup. We're week one matchup against each other. Like I think 56-44. Now that I have Clyde Edwards-Helaire as the starter and Damian Williams is out, I think I'm a 65% chance winner. So, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that bump. That's a huge bump there, CEH.
Bo says he needs to ramp up production. Yeah, we agree. I'm excited about it. I know Bo took $20 off you on your stupid bet on Jorge Masvidal today. So.
That was, you know what? I'm a believer in Street Jesus still, but I don't. Here's the thing: Usman is a beast, and he wrestles and he does exactly what you're supposed to do. He pushed him up against the cage. He dominated him physically. And he just grinded him. I mean, Masvidal actually did a really good job of not getting – he did a better job than Tyron Woodley did, and Tyron Woodley was the champion when Usman beat him. So I respect – I mean, and on short notice, too. He had no camp. Of course, Usman had to change camp, too. But Usman is so strong, upper body-wise and arm-wise, and also his legs as well. Cannons. He can kick you, and then he can push you up against the cage and hold you there. I just hate that kind of fight. I just hate it. It's the worst fight ever. I wanted them to stand and throw. And you can see when real men do that, it's just incredible. You know, those are the best fights ever in the UFC. And I've not missed a UFC fight in 15 years. So, well, let me say a pay-per-view.
I was shocked at how good Jorge Masvidal did defending against the takedowns, even though he was taking down, you know, his ability to get back on his feet and not get choked out. I was
Yeah.
surprised. He moved up in my mind as
Right.
he already was the third. I just really want to see him and Colby Covington fight. But regardless of all that, man, before we jump into tonight's topics, dude, yeah, man, happy anniversary, dude. I can't
Thank
believe
you.
it's been 15 years. And
Thank you.
you got a beautiful family now. And I can't believe I was there at your wedding 15 years ago. It's probably pretty housed at this point, 15 years ago. And
I was sober that day, so I remember the whole thing. I was not sober the day before, and I remember what I did that night. Went out with you, and we'll call him the strip club guru. You, the strip club guru. Your brother and I went out to a house party. I don't know these guys. It was so pre-COVID. This was 2005, the 30th of July. And we went out, and these guys, they had a bunch of beer, started drinking beer, and one of them had a Sam Adams mug, a big dog, probably fit, not a liter, but like, one of those like pint glasses. It's a little bit bigger than a pint glass. And dude, I just stole that bitch. I was just like, I'm getting married tomorrow. And Ryan was like, hey man, my friend's like missing a glass. Oh, I'm sorry. Strip club.
you should not. You should just never say that again. His name's Ryan, and that's his name. I would not start referring to him as that if you want to keep your friendship with him. Listen to the show.
Okay.
Sorry, too late. So these are bootleg anyway. So whatever.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's never gonna listen to this one.
He's never listening.
No. But
I'm just saying.
anyway, I still have that glass. I still do.
It started all your glass thievery.
No, actually, my sister did that. My devout pastor's daughter, or pastor's wife's sister, would go to the Cheesecake Factory and like steal really cool stuff they had there. And she'd be like, "Look at this cheese grater I brought home." And I had 5 brothers and sisters growing up, with me, so 6 of us total. We were poor. You got a cool cheese grater. Yeah, my sister would do that kind of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She taught you the ways?
Yeah. I was like, if she'll do it, I'm not going to say her name because she'll come after me, for sure. But, yeah.
Sisters, so you don't know which one.
Well, I'll just say this one. The one.
I know you don't have to tell me.
Yeah. No. I know. I'm just saying the one who would.
I don't know which one, so.
There you go. Well, I'll just say you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Well, I gave it away.
I gave it away. You said
I did. I gave it away. But anyway, that's inside baseball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We're just saying secrets. This is like the secrets episode. Yeah. But here's can we just say this? When I went to the UK, and I lived there for a year, I traveled around Europe, and I would purchase the glasses if they sold them to me. That was my rule. And so I got so many glasses where I just buy them, or many times I would be like in Greece. I'd be like, this is a great glass. Can I buy this? And the guy would be like, no, of course not. I'd be like, oh, okay, no worries. And then later he'd be like, take it, man, take it. And I'd be like, dope. So a lot of them were just gifted to me by restaurant staff across Europe. And so I brought back 60 of them. And since then, I think I've probably added like another 50, 60 to my collection. So I'm brimming with beer glasses upstairs, to much my wife's chagrin. So
yeah, that must have been an expensive transportation cost to get them back here too.
Well, listen to this. This is a great story. So they're loaded up in my bag, one of my main bags that was mine, with my underwear stuffed in them, wrapped in socks, T-shirts. I mean, I'm bringing all my stuff back from Europe. I lived there for a year. We had 4 cases. They were all about over 50 pounds for sure, or whatever, how many kilos that is. 12.8 kilos, whatever the limit was. When we got to Heathrow, first of all, the day we were about to leave, my neighbor Nige and his wife Kate, who was the best people ever, they roll up in like his speed car. He never like drove it. He was like, throw your cases in the back. We're going to get to Heathrow quick today. He just flew going like 90 the whole way. Got us there in like an hour and a half. I was like, the train takes longer than this, Nige. He's like, of course. It was just like, he just crushed it. He was awesome. He bought us we bought them breakfast, and then we got to the flight. We're going to go from Heathrow to Iceland, and they didn't even weigh our bags. They just like threw them right in. That was where we would first get tagged. Would be in London, and they didn't even care. So we're like, cool. Get to Iceland. They just put them on the plane. We got to JFK. We waited in line a long time with our carry-ons, and we had to bring all our bags because they give you all your bags from the flight, and then you have to take them and bring everything you have across the whole airport to get to your flights. We're on trams, and it took a long time. We get there, and there's this lovely little Puerto Rican girl, probably weighed 120 pounds, beautiful, 22, and she, I said, ma'am, I have about 60 glasses in that bag right there. I said, it is extremely overweight. I just want to tell you, and my wife's like, yeah, I told him he's an idiot. And she's like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Oh, you're the best. You brought that's like, I always bring stuff back too. I'm like, my girl. She's like, if I can lift it, everything is, you're good. You're good. Dude, she couldn't lift it if she tried like a million years. So she tries to lift it, can't even pick it up off the ground. Big, huge black guy comes over, like just grabs it, puts it on. I was like, you're my man. He's like, I heard your story. I was like, I love New York. I was like, you guys are great. Love you. All got back free. Not one broke. They're all in my cabinet. And maybe one day I'll take a picture and throw it up here to tweet it up or something because it's cool. I'm glad I brought them back. They're memories.
You have an extensive collection, my friend.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. If
well, there's a story behind each one, and that's what's cool. Is that I didn't get hammered over there. We lived near pubs in the UK, and we would go to pub night, quiz night with our church group every Wednesday night, and we would drink wine and drink beer. And I asked them if I could buy a glass, and a couple of them, and they were like, dude, just throw some money in the vets, like, wounded warriors coming back from Afghanistan in England. This was 2010. And so I would always just donate money to them. I just take pounds and throw them in and grab a glass. So to me, they're just great memories of times I spent with my wife before our children. Because, man, you got kids. After 15 years is amazing. If it was all with my wife, like I would just be thin. I would have probably no beard. I would just be Adonis looking. But, man, kids are just another whole nother game, man. You're in deep with children. It's great. I love them.
Kids are game changer.
Game changer. I mean, I told you about it. Now you know. Now you know. You're doubling up too, man. Cheers to you, man. You've got two beautiful kids. You got a lovely wife. You're doing super, super well. It's just so great to see, all the blessings we have as people in this day and age. It's a hard time, everyone's going through, but
100%, dude. I'm a grateful man. Grateful for all this stuff, man. Grateful for the life we have. Even though the world's crazy right now, the world we live in, and man, just getting to do this too is pretty cool. So
dream come true, man. I don't want to lift the lid, but if you want to, you can share how we did this in your old house. How many episodes we put in the can? Like 40? Just me and you talking?
Well, we had a completely different idea for a show in 2009, and I had the idea in 2009, and then I started pitching it to you and different friends, and we were gonna have like a 5-man show. And that never materialized.
But I did. I bought a mic. I got all the stuff, and then I tucked in with you for fun.
Yeah. Well, then I think the most we ever had was 3, where we actually did shows. And then me and you just started doing our own little spin-off thing.
Weights and shit.
Yep, and we would just do topics and stuff like that. So
I like when we talk serial killers. That was one of my favorite shows. You taught me a lot about certain guys, and I was like, I gotta watch those documentaries now. So that great times for sure.
Oh yeah, man. Yep. I still have all the old tapes too.
Well, you and I will reminisce.
We'll have to.
Those aren't for public. Just like these. These aren't really for public consumption. These are for us to figure out the bells and whistles, how we're going to do things, what's going to look like. You can already see right now we're just enjoying ourselves. But there'll be a lot of fantasy football talk for sure, guys. Don't worry.
First episode, man. We're going to try and go through the first round, and
right.
That's going to be. The more we've been doing these little bootlegs, the more I'm like, wow, we're going to have to really stay on point. But
buckle down.
Yeah, I mean, we're the cool thing is that the bootlegs we've just been going through, first round guys, and it's cool, man, because it's really getting us ready for that first show. And the goal is for us to have fun and be entertaining, but also, give good fantasy data. So tonight we're doing DeAndre Hopkins. That's our guy for tonight's bootleg episode. So,
yeah, I mean, I love some D Hop. So
D Hop, yeah, man. Yeah, I've gone back and listened to all these shows, and we keep, we keep thinking, these are the best players in the NFL. So, it's hard not to just be completely effusive when you're talking about these people. I mean, except for CEH, because I just don't know anything about it yet. But I have no film on that dude. But DeAndre Hopkins, we talked about Michael Thomas, and then during that conversation, we were comparing and contrasting him with Devontae Adams. And then we kind of did this again with last night with Saquon and CMC. My take on DeAndre Hopkins is I think he's the best wide receiver in the National Football League. So I already see Bo saying overrated. I could not disagree.
Who's throwing out overrated? Is that Bo?
I don't know if he was saying that about one of the other people, but none of those people are overrated. I think DeAndre Hopkins is, as far as throwing him, Bo agrees. Thank you, Bo.
All right, Bo's.
I think DeAndre Hopkins is, CEH, yeah.
Oh, okay, 100%. Good, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I think DeAndre Hopkins is the most talented. It's tough, you've got guys like Julio.
They're different players, though, so I think what we need to do is appreciate each of them for who they are. But also, I mean, if a ball is within any of DeAndre Hopkins' wingspan ever,
yeah,
he catches that ball. Like, there's not a question. Like, any target that is not caught is normally he's hit the set or someone interferes with it immediately. Great DB play. Or it's a bad throw. He catches everything. Like, literally everything.
You know what's so interesting, man, is that just doing these little, bootleg shows, one of the things that I've really started to focus in on is the hand size. I never knew this before. Yeah, guess who's in the 10-inch hand club?
Well, I mean, you saw the pictures earlier today. You know who is in the 10-inch. I mean, never mind. Yeah, no, it's DeAndre Hopkins.
He's in the 10-inch hand club, dude.
Of course, he's killing it. He is.
And he's in the. Bo says he's in the 10-inch hand club.
That's how he handles all that hot sauce. He's got like a bunch of bottles in all his fingers. It makes sense now.
I tried to do it. I don't know, months ago. I forget what it was, but I'm almost 6'3". I'm a pretty tall guy. I think mine are like in the 8s or something. I mean, not that. 10-inch hands are there's not, you go through and you look at a lot. There's not a lot of guys in the 10-inch hand club.
Yeah.
So it is a physical trait that I am now starting to really look at in.
Let's add it to the metrics, and I mean, I don't want to be like, there's a value for that though. I think what you can do is you can look at the players who have those hand sizes, and then just chart and see their perception totals or their perception, whatever it is, their percentage. Sorry, I'm getting Matt Harmon right here. So getting their reception percentage, and looking and see if there's a correlation, because I'm sure there's a graph for that. There sure is. That really does matter. If your hands are bigger than everyone else's, you just cover more surface area. It's like a genetic enhancement that makes you better. It's like a X-Men power. Let's be honest. You're just bigger and better and more evolved in that area, and you're able to do more things. That's it.
Yeah, and he also has he's also in the upper echelon of arm length too, and so
He's always doing this. He's always doing one of these back catches where he's reaching behind him. And then,
those are the right. Those are the things that you look at, and you know, until 2020, I never really, I never put two and two together on why he's so amazing. And those are two big reasons right there. He's got really long arms and he's got really big hands, and it makes sense because there's nobody in the league that I think, you know, besides, to me, Michael Thomas is more, he just always seems to come down with the ball.
He's a bigger body. I would say that DeAndre Hopkins creates space, has more finesse, more body control, and he can lay out. I mean, his toe taps are epic. They are.
Right.
You know, he can ballerina. He looks like a ballerina if you slow-mo him down. He's tipping through the tulips, man. I love it. I'm with you 100%.
He's been in the league 7 years. I think he might have the greatest highlight reel of anyone who's ever played as far as catches. I mean, he's got so many gems, dude.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to blow your mind, and I'm going to make you a happy man because here's the thing. What if I told you? Because fantasy football, to me, if you want to sum it up, I think most experts will agree. If you want to just in one word, fantasy football, if you want to win, it's about value. You want to get some DeAndre Hopkins value. Guess where the consensus experts put him in the top 12 or 15. I don't want to shepherd you, but in the top consensus experts on Fantasy Pros right now, where do you think DeAndre Hopkins is getting drafted in the first round?
Okay. You know, so I have not yet done all my first round analysis.
Of course, right. But
that's why
he's in the first round. He's in the first round. He is. So
of course, first round.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. That's why I like this because you know, between now and Monday, I'm gonna really you know, do all the work as far as, you know, I've got my favorites, but it's, you know, comparing them to the experts because that's part of what you do. Mm-hmm. So you got your first, I'm going to put him, you got, you know, CMC, Saquon, Michael Thomas, Zeke, and I'm going to think, you know, you're probably going to still stay running back, but he's right around there. He's in the 5 to 7 range, I'm going to guess.
Okay. So I think he is at unfortunately my page I had where his ranking was, it fell off. So I lost that page. True story.
Somebody just chimed in
yeah.
Forget how to say his name. Jimo the Icon. Cool dude. New follow. You know him.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah. He says early second.
Yeah, he is. And I pulled up, so I'm just trying to look for my little graph I pulled up, but alas, I'm losing the plot here a little bit. On YouTube, I'm showing my screen poorly.
So what wide receivers are you going to put ahead of him right now? They're putting Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Julio Jones.
They are. Sorry about that, guys. Sharing my screen was terrible on YouTube, but there's no one on YouTube. So right now, you could get him on Fantasy Calculator, the average man's draft. He's getting depressed. His value's depressed. You could get him as the 5th wide receiver off the board or the 6th wide receiver off the board in the middle of the 2nd round. So, and I'm not going to say Fantasy Calculator is everything. Fantasy Pros has the consensus as him, 8th or 7th or 8th or 9th in that part of the round. But I think he is being overlooked. And when I put in my projections for him, he easily topped over 1,000 yards. And I mean, I gave him a little less targets. I didn't give him 160, 150 targets. I gave him like 125, 130. But the thing about it is his targets in that offense are going to be for consistent, and he's also going to get big plays. He's going to get touchdowns. So I think he is a good value in the second round right now, like a great value in the second round, actually.
Yeah.
I wouldn't reach for him in the first because I think you can get him in the second. That's what I'll say a lot,
Yeah, for sure. I think
Miles Sanders is getting drafted ahead of him. Nick Chubb is getting drafted. Tyreek Hill is in front of him. Julio Jones, of course, Michael Thomas and Devontae Adams. And depending on if you're somebody like me who last year, hit goal with Chris Godwin, maybe you're reaching for Chris Godwin in front of him too. I picked him up in dynasty drafts and in kind of industry drafts. Back in the end of the second round, I can't believe he's available. It'll be 2.10 or 209. I'll be like, what? I'm getting DeAndre Hopkins. I have him on some of those best ball teams too in the third round, and so I do believe in him. I think he's going to have games in that offense where he'll get you 2 touchdowns, 150 yards, and maybe 9 receptions, and he's going to dominate just like he always does. And he's had terrible quarterbacks for a long time. Deshaun Watson excluded, of course. He's a good quarterback, developing into maybe a great quarterback. But Kyler Murray, I think, if they can stick together for 4 or 5 years, they could be a great tandem, and it could really just keep him on that threshold of being the best or one of the best wide receivers, at least in that conversation every year. So I'm with you.
2016, besides his rookie year in 2013, was the only year he had under 1,000, and Brock Osweiler was his quarterback. So,
terrible.
Yeah,
Denver is just terrible for signing him for that big extension after he played.
So for me, that's the thing, is that why saying he's in 5 to 7 or whatever in the first round. That's where he was last year. So everyone was coming off of, the adjustment is, what is he going to be like with Kyler Murray?
Yeah.
So
I can tell you, I'll look at my projections. I have him for 150 targets, 104 receptions, 1,100 yards, and I have him, projected for 8 touchdowns. So
he's had 150 targets since 2015. So again, a guy with 10-inch hands and 33-inch arms, why wouldn't you throw him the ball 100 times?
Well, here's the cool part, and this is the thing you're going to love, is looking at the ratios in this Arizona offense. I wasn't even extravagant. Everything I'm doing in this Kyle Yates tool, shout out Kyle Yates, is tempered, because I'm not, and I might seem like a wild and crazy guy from my posts on Twitter, but data really drives what I do. And so in this projection, I give them 1,000 plays. That's on pace for a little bit of a bump from last year, but I feel like Kingsbury will be much more efficient, especially since he looked so bomb in that draft house he was in. If he can pull that off, he can do anything, really.
What is that? Can you pull that picture up?
I don't have it handy. I wish I did. That's off the cuff. That's just freestyle. But I put them together for 1,000 total plays, which is about 40 over what they did last year. Not a lot. That's like a play and a half a game more. I think they can pull that off. And if not, it's not that much of a big deal. But 550. This is based on kind of where their percentage. 550 passes from Kyler Murray, and here's how I broke it down. And I kept people alive and well with targets. So I gave DeAndre Hopkins, percentage-wise, I gave him, it's not even huge, I gave him a 27% target share, which, for me, if you have DeAndre Hopkins, I'm thinking you're in the 30s, maybe 30% is kind of where but I gave him less, right? I gave Christian Kirk 20, I gave Larry Fitzgerald 17. And it still turned out that Christian Kirk had 110 targets. Larry Fitzgerald had 94 targets. Andy Isabella, 30 targets. Keyshawn Johnson, Hakeem Butler, each got 6. And that sounds reasonable that DeAndre Hopkins is still going to get 150 targets. those guys are between those other two receivers. There's still 200 targets, 205 targets available. So you can't tell me he's not going to eat. He's going to eat.
Since 2015, he's done it, and so Cliff Kingsbury is he the OC also? Because
everything runs through him.
Right.
He's like the McVay or the Shanahan. He's the young gun on the sideline with the play card hidden, so he can say stuff and then go behind it like that.
Yeah. So, you definitely think it's going to be interesting to see, how he schemes things up for him. But, I mean, I think, these guys who are, offensive gurus, they're definitely paying attention to, statistical probabilities. And, the statistics show more targets, the better for DeAndre Hopkins. So that's the thing that's interesting. Yeah, we chose him as like a first round guy. We're in a 12. Our main league is 12 men. So
wait. There's a few boys in that league. Let's just not lie.
There's some easy money, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Shout
out Lord Blakely. and his brother in arms, Sir Joshua.
Yeah.
You gotta have fuel for fodder, man. It's just, as Judge Smales would say, the world needs ditch diggers.
Yeah.
Fantasy, you need the guys who come with the money every year. They cash it in, and then you take it. And you know that because you've been taking mine for 15 years. So I've been one of those fools too. I'm not going to even front like I'm some cashing, Your thousands. I'm a minus thousandaire. My wife said to me the other day, she goes, "When are you going to actually make some money on this?"
She does.
Oh yeah. She's won second place 3 times. 3 times she's gotten second. She's like, Jesse, I played this thing 4 years and it's just so easy. I go, what do you do? She goes, well, I just follow
the data.
What they do. They tell me to do this. And then last year, my favorite thing is this. She had the first pick in your wife's league. So my wife and Mike's wife are friends as well. So that we're all big family here. We love each other. I love his kids. He loves my kids. So
Uncle Jesse to my.
So here's my
fantasy world.
Here's the truth. If you're listening to this, and there's not probably anybody listening to this, but my name is Jesse, and then Scott's my middle name. It's my dad's name too, and then Simpson, of course, would be my surname. But in relating to everybody else, I'm just Jesse. But when I started this fantasy experience, I wanted to differentiate myself from my other, just who I was in a way. And so if you related to me as Scott, then it was strictly fantasy. I knew exactly where you were coming from, and it helped me to contextualize you and set you apart and really to value you. So if you really want to understand who Scott is here because of fantasy football. He's here because I love it enough that I would create another part of my own being to experience it in a way that was pure, and you wouldn't be like, Jesse, is it Scott? Jesse? No, it's Scott. For fantasy football, it's Scott. For everything else, it's Jesse.
Yeah.
And if you're my friend, you can call me whatever you want. You don't even call me Jesse. You don't even call me Scott. You call me Jay.
It's cool. You're Scott. I just every now and then,
dude,
it's just like the Redskins.
I know. I'm rebranded.
It's rebranding. Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Here's the thing about it all. I remember when I put it up there. I said I was Scott Simpson. It was last year, and I probably had 800 followers, and you were like, oh, so you're Scott now, and I was like, well, I want a little bit of anonymity, but I also want. I think it's a cool name. I love my dad. I think you love your dad too, and my dad gave it's. What do you say?
My dad's name's Ralph Mancho.
Well, of course, not but just Ralph Mancho.
It's just Ralph Mancho.
And wax on, wax off. So, my dad's name is Scott, and he's just a bull of a man. Great man. You know, raised a family of 7, well 6. You know, my wife, my mom, and then, you know, so he great man. And long and the short of it is, I'm honored to go by that on fantasy, and it helps me to kind of just not worry about anything else. I can just tuck in completely and just be myself, and call me whatever you want. I'm there, and I'm going to be there, and I'm going to be here with you and with the rest of my fantasy friends on Twitter. If you guys haven't figured this out, I mean, I freaking love you guys. That's what I do every day. Mike called me out last episode for checking it right away. Yeah, I do, because I think the cool part about this is when you're younger, you're subject to the friends and the people that are around you. Like, the truth is we're friends because we were in the same school twice, you know, and then the same church, and then, you know, it was localization. If you lived in France or if you lived in Texas, we don't get together normally, you know. So there's something to be said about that. What's cool about Twitter for all of us is that we have a choice. We can kind of pick out who we want to hang out with, and are allowed to make friends with people who we connect with and who we can value and care about. So I actually think if you're doing it the right way, it's a great medium to meet friends and be cared about by people. Shout out, you know, Denny Carter and everybody else. So
Now we got boys. We got boys named Bo, and we got boys named Gemmo the Icon.
I love those
And
guys, dude. Listen. I don't want to get too inside baseball, but check out Gemmo. Gemmo's on my mic stand, dude. This is that's his sticker right there.
he's got the swag, baby.
Oh yeah, I got a T-shirt. I'll wear it on one of the episodes. I definitely have. You know, he's on here repping the sunglasses too. So it was funny. One of the guys today, he called me out on Twitter. He goes, "Man, look at Nimble with Numbers stealing stealing our style, trying to sunglasses, take it from us." And then you know, Gemmo the Icon, who's just, you know, God bless him, sent me a shirt, sent me, you know, stickers. Love him. He comes back and he's just like, "How about we're all sunglass brothers? You know, we're together." And I loved it because, you know, and I said, "This is my new picture." I sent a picture of my new sunglasses, and then after that, I posted the Costanza, we'll call it, and the same guy was like, "Look at this ruse. All along, he was stealing our women. He was just playing with us, you know, messing with us with our sunglasses, distracting us, and then he posts this shit, you know." So I love it. I love Gemmo. I love everybody involved in Twitter, because for me, it's one big conversation. And I love to be part of it. I love to interact with everybody. You know that. That's why we're here. We're having a conversation. So
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add on DeAndre Hopkins. I think
if he comes to me in the second round, I'm getting him 100% of the time, every time. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. I'm not going to reach for him in the first because I think he'll fall, because he's just being projected kind of down a little bit in people's minds. So.
yeah. I think for me, again, I gotta to build my list, but I'd say he's my third wide receiver off the board. It's between him and Tyreek Hill. So I'm interested. They're all right there. Tyreek Hill, Julio, of course, and DeAndre are it's a tough call. So, but I think the upside. What I don't know. Tyreek Hill's probably got a higher upside. So
Tyreek Hill's higher upside. Yeah, I mean, in that offense,
got a bigger ceiling.
Yeah, he's got a bigger ceiling. I think Hopkins gives you. I'm out.
Yeah.
What
Now
happened?
you're back.
Okay.
Nothing.
Nothing happened on my end. Am I still back?
Yep, you're back.
Okay.
Yeah. Well.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question real quick? This is like inside baseball stuff. I'm in a live draft right now. It happened last night too, or a couple nights ago. I'm in something called the Raz Bowl, and I've been going 0 RB. So let me tell you my team, and I need some help right now. And if is Bo still around? Gemmo still around? Anybody still in the chat over there? Or
I don't know.
I'm on YouTube, so you're running the Periscope. How's it looking?
They've been chiming in. I don't know.
All right, well, they can chime in if they want to. Here's the thought, and you can chime in primarily, just so you know. I'll give you my team. I'm up to pick right now.
Boo.
He's booing. He's booing the Rasball. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I want his help. I respect him. Is what I'm saying. So here's my team. I've got Lamar Jackson as my QB. My RB1 is James White because I got him last round late. My wide receiver 1 is Michael Thomas. Wide receiver 2, Keenan Allen. Wide receiver 3, Terry McLaurin. Tight end 1, George Kittle. Okay, that's my team. Now,
Bo's doing 0 RB, I think. Anyway.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I'm just trying to do something. I'm trying new strategies, Bo. And when you have got 25 teams, you can vary it, and then in retrospect, you can look back and then study that and look and see what teams won and what teams didn't. So I'm just doing a little studying. It's all fun and games, Bo. So anyway, I have an RB situation now where I need to draft an RB, a second RB. So I'm going to give you guys some names. I have a guy that I want in mind, and I want to hear what you think. Okay, so here we go. I've got J.K. Dobbins. He is available. I've got Philip Lindsay. He's available. I've got Geis is available. Ronald Jones is available. Those are the main guys, and then Tevin Coleman's hanging around.
This isn't best ball.
No. This is a regular fantasy football season league we're going to be in, just like Sleeper or Yahoo or ESPN. So I can give you the ADP and where people are kind of projected points-wise, but I think it's kind of outdated. I don't like the site that they're using to kind of quantify anything for me necessarily. But those are the players available to be my RB2. So, am I going high upside, with Darius Geis pretending he's going to get the start most of the year and then, continue on in his ways, or he's going to get hurt again? I also have Ronald Jones. They just signed LaShawn McCoy today. Philip Lindsay, he's a good handcuff. Definitely a good handcuff, but, probably going to get 30% of the carries, less, maybe 10% of the targets, not that many, I don't know. What are you thinking?
I guess I like Geis.
Geis, the price is right for Geis. I mean, this is the 7th round, and he's going earlier than that normally, or around that area. So, yeah, I think he's got the greatest upside. And the Raz Bowl, it's about upside. So I'm gonna Geis it up. All right, thank you, I appreciate that. Now we can kind of transition to NFL.
NFL. We have 2 topics for tonight's NFL talk.
Are we going to run long tonight? Just off the cuff?
I don't know.
Are you okay with that? Because we're not really through most of our content, but we're up against the 3-tweet window is shortened. I'm okay with whatever. You know me. I love hanging out with you. I could talk to you. We could do the podathon where they talk for 24 hours. Not the same 2 people, but we could do it just ourselves for 24 hours. Honestly, you gotta go to the bathroom, stuff like that, take shits. Of course, sorry to the kids. Hey, if Danny Carter ever listens to this, I did tweet this out. We never apologize to the kids. The kids shouldn't be listening to this.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I don't think we'll be that long. Because really, we only had 2 topics. Bill Belichick's Cam Newton statements, and then we were just going to readdress the Antonio Brown suspension. I didn't really think that story of Bill Belichick saying that about Cam Newton was that big of a deal.
Right.
I thought
Coach speak, Bill particular.
It did make me look at Jason Statham, a.k.a.
the Stidmeister, the Stiderino, the Stidster.
Your sound's cutting out again. What happened?
I don't know.
No, that's not good.
My Skype is low.
That's weird.
It said my Skype levels are not available. Can you still hear me?
It's completely cut out. Well, I hope this doesn't happen on the real show. Did you type something?
No, I did not touch something.
Man, that's so weird.
Did it change? Am I back? Am I back?
Peace and quiet. That's right.